back with another super cool astrology video, and I want to talk about when your ascendants are square in Synastry. What we see when this not too uncommon thing happens between us. So when your ascendants are square, that means your descendants are also going to be square. And when we have the ascendants themselves in a square aspect, this means we have very different outward behaviors. That first layer to our personality is going to be very, very different from each other. Not automatically incompatible. We have to look at other things. On the surface, this does present us with some challenges because the actual physical way that we interact with our environment is going to be very, very different for the two people. So when one is hot, one tends to be cold. When one wants to go out, one tends to want to stay in. We can have very, very different reactions to our environment here. So our tolerances tend to be very different. And one tends to be an extroverted sign and one tends to be a more introverted sign. Or we see one is more passive or one is more aggressive when we have these squares going on. And so it just presents us with some differences here between the two of us. And first impressions tend to not be extremely accurate when it comes to determining if we are going to be interested or compatible with each other, because we do tend to see so many differences that we can jump to conclusions that, maybe this isn't going to work out because this person is so much louder or so much this or so much that or so much less this than I am. And typically this is not one that will keep us from having a very, very successful relationship if we have other things that are otherwise working between us. So the descendants are also going to be square, which means that the type of people that we draw to us, the type of people that we find favor or create discord with are going to be very, very different. And so like for Pisces descendant and Gemini descendant, one attracts and is attracted to, deep, profound, spiritual, sometimes escapist or compromised or mystical, broad-minded people. And, we have Gemini descendant, which is about, chatty, youthful partners, like to switch from subject to subject and are very extroverted, multi-talented, and just very different. And so we can have very different people in our lives, very different friends, very different experiences with our shadow selves when we have descendants that are square. So we do tend to be very interesting to each other with this square. For all the differences that it does present, we do notice each other with this particular square. And because there is such a difference in our outward behavior, we tend to catch each other's eye. And so it is one where if you see it, it's worth digging deeper and seeing what else is there that may be supportive or show compatibility between the two of you, because this in itself is not something that is going to show that we are fundamentally incompatible. It is going to show that we have some very different experiences in our individual lives. There's less of a feeling of having a very shared, same experience of what life brings us, because we are so prone to behaving and interpreting and reacting very, very differently. So there's less of that feeling of being connected at the hip with this one. That doesn't mean that we can't have that going on in other ways. We can have like thick Neptune going on and moon IC stuff and all kinds of stuff going on. So this is one that does add a layer of difference that sometimes can be quite good if we have other things that are, maybe too close, or maybe we have too much sameness going on. See, this is one that you absolutely have to consider with the overall structure of the synastry between the two of you. You can't make a judgment about whether or not things are going to work out based on the square. And I hear people contact me, and they'll be very fearful when they see that their descendants or their ascendants are square. And it's really not something that is worth getting your panties in a twist over. Pluto aspects, especially Moon Pluto aspects, Sun Pluto aspects, Venus Pluto aspects, Mars Pluto aspects, things of that nature, heavy Neptune, stuff like that. That's what you want to worry about. So I will be back super soon with more super cool videos. I hope that this was helpful to you. Please subscribe to my channel if it was. You can find me on the internet at truthandaspectastrology.com, social media, Facebook, other social media of all kinds at Truth and Aspect Astrology. Patreon, please find me over there and support my cause to build a women's retreat where all women can come and reconnect with themselves and their feelings through horses and astrology and nature and all kinds of esoteric teaching. And I'll see you guys super soon. Bye-bye.